Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Here we go. We've got Stewarts Service on the left and Epstein Didn't Kill Himself on the right. And they are off to a fierce start. Several team members on each side tagged out right off the bat. These players have come hungry. Hungry for turkey? Maybe. Hungry for dodgeball? Definitely. You can see the zeal in their eyes. Everybody's still energetic, rested, ready to get those bugs out. Dodgeballs casually bouncing across the court as players size up their opponents. Players on the right. It's down to 6 players. Oh, evening it up with 6 on the left. You may notice that there are some different colored dodgeballs. Oh, and the player on the left catches it, which means the player on the right is out, and the player on the left gets to come back in. Players still just kind of trying to size each other up, but the team on the left, Stewarts, definitely has the number advantage right now. That one had some pepper on it. Almost an amazing move. Player on the right jumped over the ball, but didn't quite get the air he needed. Team on the right, Epstein Didn't Kill Himself, down to just 3 players. Stewarts is putting up quite the offense. Can EDKH hold out? Remains to be seen. Still holding on at 3 players on the right versus 8 on the left. The resounding thud off the back wall. And we've lost one on the left. Players on the right don't seem concerned to have fewer numbers than the team on the left. Maybe they have a plan. We're down to just 2 versus 6. Down to 1. That means the money balls come into effect. If the player on the right manages to get any of the balls through the basket on the opposing side, his whole team gets to come back in. So the money ball is in effect. He can get other teammates in by catching a ball or by getting the money ball. He's got all the ammunition. And the player on the left caught it. That's the game. We're doing best out of 3, so the players will come back in, swap sides, and then they'll go back at it. Coaches are setting the balls back up on the line and getting ready to go. All right. Players are in position. We're back for the second round of the first game tonight. All right, here we go. Players are racing off the line. A few players knocked out on both sides of the court. Stewarts is now on the right side. Epstein Didn't Kill Himself on the left side. Stewarts are up 1-0. If they win this one, then they will take the round. If Epstein wins this one, then we'll have to go to round 3 of match 1. Nice catch on the left, which knocks a player on the right out. That's definitely a risk you take when you throw that ball over there. If somebody catches it with their hands instead of their face, you're out and they're in. Ball after ball in a furious fusillade of firepower, flashing frantically from side to side. Players on both sides dropping like flies, although EDKH on the left here is definitely holding their own a lot better this go around. Did Stewarts get overly cocky? Only time will tell. Yeah, that was a good hit. You could tell he felt that. Players on the right have most of the dodgeballs. They're sizing up their opponents. You see them employing a few tactics where they throw multiple balls at one player. Makes it harder for that player to dodge. Almost a good, almost so close. The Epstein player over here almost caught the ball, but bounced right out of his slippery butterfingers. Nice catch on the left, brings the player back in and knocks one out on the right. This time Stewarts is being whittled down. They're down to 1, which means the money ball is in play. See our sole remaining player on Stewarts. Easily. And they call it, he's out. Caught the bottom of his feet. That means our players are tied, and we're going to go to the tiebreaker. Each team has won one match of each round. Whoever wins this one will take the bracket. All right, players have swapped sides, and they're ready to go for match 3 of round 1. Off they go to the line. Nobody connects off the line. All of our players are still in on both sides. And now we've lost one on Stewarts on the left. Both teams know now that this is the one for all the tamales. Each team is really amping up their energy levels, sizing up their shots more carefully. Almost caught it on the right, but that's the thing about dodgeballs. Sometimes you dodge them, and sometimes they dodge right out of your grip. Players dropping on both sides. Stewarts is down to just 4 players versus 8 on the right. Back down to 4. Yeah, all right. Stewarts makes a catch, brings a teammate back in, and knocks one off of the other team. Nice deflection. So for our viewers at home, if a player blocks the ball with another ball and it doesn't hit anybody before it touches the ground, then they're safe. If they block the ball and it bounces off and hits somebody else on their team, that player is out. So you really got to know what you're doing when you're blocking balls. We're down to just 3 players left on Stewarts. Epstein didn't kill himself, really making a strong comeback. They don't seem to be hesitating. They're trying to press their advantage. Stewarts knocks out another player, evening up the court that much more. Down to 2. 2 versus 6. You may have seen a player reach over the line and grab a ball. That's okay. They're just not allowed to step over the line. If they put a foot completely over the line, they're out. During the game, if they put a foot even a little bit over the line, they're out. But they can reach over it. And he makes the catch. Outstanding. I hope we got that one. That was great. Makes the catch. We're at 5 players left on the right versus 2 who are holding their own really nicely over here on Stewarts. Down to 1. Money ball is in effect. 1 minute left on the clock. If the clock runs out, the team that has the most players will win. even with just 1 versus 3. Oh, and that's the game. Abseen might not have killed himself, but this team certainly killed Stewarts. All right, round 1 goes to Abseen didn't kill himself, taking 2 wins over Stewarts Service. All right, we're back for the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We've just finished up round 1 here in the East Gym. We're coming back for round 2. Blackhawks on the left side of the screen versus Sitting Ducks on the right. These teams are ready to go. They start by touching the outside of the court, and then they're going to race to the center line. Off they go. A couple of players diving over the line. A few players recover dodgeballs. I don't think anybody was struck out off of that first full save, but we got a couple people that tripped themselves out. Both teams have recovered most of the dodgeballs, and they're ready to get to work. Wow, a player here on the left blocking 2 dodgeballs at once. Players on the right starting to drop. As the team on the left shows not only can they throw a dodgeball, they know how to aim one. It takes years of practice to develop that type of skill, to be able to throw a soft foam ball across a court and make it connect with the person you're aiming at on the other side. It's not just a skill you can just pick up. Sitting Ducks on the right, Blackhawks on the left. Sitting Ducks are down to just 3 players. Maybe they should have reconsidered their name. Art imitating life. Still got all 10 players in on the left. Oh, down to 9. Sitting Ducks down to just 2. Taking control of the dodgeballs and preventing the enemy from sending them down their way. They've really got to work hard right now to strike some of those other players out. Nice barrage of fire, all of which failed to connect. All right. Blackhawks take the first round of the match. First match of the round? Who knows? Blackhawks win. On to part 2. Uh-oh. Sitting Ducks have got a unfair advantage. Oh, there we go. That one blue ball just really wants to help out the Sitting Ducks. All right, off they go to the line. Wow. Sitting Ducks put on such a fierce show as they ran for the line that all of the Blackhawks were scared back to the line. Sitting Ducks knock out 1 player, player 22 from the Blackhawks. Sitting Ducks are already down 3. Blackhawks are down 2, 3 now. Players on their left trying their best to prevent being knocked out of this round of the bracket. If Blackhawks win again, that's it for the Sitting Ducks. Sitting Ducks down to 5 players. Blackhawks at 7. Now you look at these players on the right. You can tell they've been training for years. Every waking moment that they probably should have been reading a book or eating food, caring for their families. Where were they? They were in their backyards, in their garages, pumping iron and throwing dodgeballs. Down to just 3 players on the left, the players on the right making an easy show out of it, or so it would seem. We've seen teams come back from worse odds than this. Maybe Sitting Ducks are just toying with their prey. Sitting Ducks down to just 2, down to just 1. Money ball's in effect. He tried to catch it, missed it. All right, Blackhawks win both matches of round 2, knocking the Sitting Ducks down a peg. Congratulations to the Blackhawks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're coming into round 3 of the tournament. We've got Say When on the right and the MACU Rate Slashers on the left. MACU's looking intimidating in their matching uniforms. Members of the audience can't contain their excitement at seeing a team so dapperly dressed. And they're off for the line. Players disregarding their own safety to slide in for the ball. Definitely gives the team a great advantage if they get a hold of more dodgeballs right off the line. I think these are our first teams we've seen tonight with players of both genders on the teams. Mixed teams. Ref's making a call. Somebody's out. MACU is down 2. Say When is still at full strength. Audience is really getting into it. Nice catch by Say When. That knocks a player from MACU out. And a nice catch returned by MACU, knocking a player by Say When out. A valiant attempt to catch 2 dodgeballs goes unrewarded. Players on the right returning fire. Players on the left dancing around those dodgeballs like it ain't no thing. Player on the right catches the ball, but it bounced off the ground first, which means it's a dead ball and doesn't count. Players on the left taking this opportunity to catch their breath while the players on the right have control of most of the dodgeballs. Player on the right just casually throws the purple ball for the basket. Player number 3 is out for an unseen offense. Unseen by us, but the ref is always watching. Just like your big brother.
Oh, Carter!
I guess Carter got knocked out. 6 players left on the left versus 5 on the right. Fairly even odds. The left team is hoarding all the dodgeballs. Oh. It's like he just jumped out in front of it, said, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to end it. And got dodgeballed. Down to 4 on the left. 6 on the right. Players on the right really upping their energy level. Now down to 5. 5 versus 2, and that's how quickly that things can turn around in a game of dodgeball. The thing we really need to see from our players is implementing the fundamentals. The 5 Ds of dodgeball you all know and love. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. As long as you practice those fundamentals, you'll probably not get hit by a dodgeball as often. Nice catch on the left. Immediately soured by being hit in the chest with the dodgeball, but the sacrifice was worth it as he brought in another player. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Makes that 1 sole remaining player. Goes for the catch and misses it, knocking MACU out of match 1 of round 3. Say When takes match 1. All right, our teams have switched sides. We've got MACU on the right and Say When on the left. Refs have lined the balls up on the line of scrimmage, and our teams are ready to go for match 2 of round 3.
I need to get action shots. Yeah, you do.
And there's the whistle. Teams are running for the line. Well, MACU decides they're going to play it dangerous and not go for any of the dodgeballs. We'll see if this dangerous strategy prevails. And it looks like their strategy worked. Oh, almost catches it. MACU returning fire. Down only one player. One of our more hesitant players on the right throws the ball and has an easy catch to a team on the left. Team on the left returns the favor, knocking herself out and giving a catch to the team on the right. Say Wen must have heard, or rather must have not heard Wen, because they are laying it down hard, knocking MACU down to just 4 players in the opening minutes of match 2 of round 3. Nice deflection by the player on the right. He's not getting knocked out tonight. Players on the left sizing up their opponents as they have control of most of the dodgeballs. Team on the right taking the strategy of bunching up in the corner, perhaps as a defense mechanism to distract the team on the left.
You ruined my shot.
Players on the right suddenly obscured and unable to see what's happening on the right side of the court. Can't see. Thank you. All right, players on the left suddenly returning fire against the players on the right. Just 4 players remaining on the right versus 6 players remaining on the left. Still an even game. It could go any direction. MACU's really got to show us the goods right now if they want to come back from this.
Ashley, don't get that ball.
Turned his back on the enemy and took a ball right in the lumbar. 5 players left on the left, 3 players left on the right. MACU doesn't look worried though. Say Wen definitely employing some good throwing technique, putting a lot of power behind those strikes. MACU down to just 2 players. Nice connection from the player on the right, but he gets knocked out in turn. And that's the round. Say Wen clinches it with 2 wins, giving round 3 to Say Wen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're coming into round 4. We've got Swoldiers versus Ballbusters. You may remember Swoldiers. They're a returning team. I believe they were champions of a previous year. Swoldiers here on the right and Ballbusters on the left.
Marissa was like, I just stood in the back and gathered balls to everybody, and then all of a sudden I was the only one left.
Ref's passing out some fatherly advice to all his young Swoldier children as they get ready to go into round 4. You can see the absolute bloodlust in the eyes of these Swoldiers on the right. They've tasted victory before, and they're not going to go down without a fight this time. You can taste it. Oh. There we go. All right, players are ready on both sides. The ref blows the whistle, and they're off like a shot. The players on the right like a shot from a gun. The players on the left like a shot from a small wooden slingshot. Fun for kids, but not very dangerous. Could be part of their strategy to distract and then decimate the opposing team. Both teams down 2 players each. Team on the left now down 3. As the ball busters grab furiously for balls to bust. Across that line, knocking Swoldiers out of the game. All right, our team on the left putting up a pretty good fight. They're down 4 players, but they're not licked yet. Six versus 7, now down to 5 versus 7. Swoldiers on the right, showing that they mean business. The ball busters on the left, showing that they can take a licking, but keep on ticking.
It was hilarious. It wasn't bad.
Down to 4, just 4 players on the left, but they're putting up a pretty good defense. Down to 3, Swoldiers picking them off like flies. Such is life in this dangerous ballet of death we call dodgeball. Player on the left easily dancing around those incoming balls. Team on the right gets a whistle blown. Ref calls the guy out for stepping over the line. He says, okay. 2 versus 7, 6. Remaining on the right. Are they going to make it easy for them? We'll see. Our player on the left dancing easily out of the way of the dodgeball. As our other player exits the arena, leaving only 1 left, which means the money ball is in play. Most of the dodgeballs are on the left, but not all of them. Our player is in playing a double ball strategy, trying to block dodgeballs, and he is unable to hold his own. All right, the first match of the round goes to the Swoldiers. All right, we're back for match 2 of round 4, Swoldiers versus Ballbusters. Swoldiers on the left, taking match 1 of round 4 against the Ballbusters. Ballbusters make it all the way to the line while the Swoldiers mostly hang back. Ballbusters, even though they had most of the dodgeballs, failed to connect with anybody. Swoldiers still at full strength, having won the first match of the round. The Ballbusters have an uphill battle as they try to come back from almost certain crushing defeat. Swoldiers on the left here, taking their time, eyeing up their opponents, catching dodgeballs like it ain't no thing. Player on the left knocks out a player on the right. And suddenly, Ballbusters is down to just 6 players. With a handy catch by player 11 on the left. Oh, he missed it. He's out. That brings the player back in on the right, fortifying their numbers against almost overwhelming odds. Swoldiers unleash a cavalcade of fire. One of our players on the right gets hit not once but twice, adding insult to injury as he is escorted off of the playing field. Player on the left tries to dodge out of the way and gets hit in the back, evening up the odds a little bit better. You might notice those squeaky shoes. That's not just an artifact of the shoes, it's actually a sneaky strategy employed by the team to distract and divert the players on the other side. They take a squeak as a sign of weakness. It sounds like a small animal scared, but no. It hides a warrior ready to pounce from the shadows of the dodgeball arena. Swoldiers at almost full strength, just missing 2 players, knocking out our players on the right. Ballbusters are definitely getting busted. They can still make a comeback, though. They just got to really put their hearts into it. Down to just 3. Player on the right stepped outside the lines. Leaves just 2 to defend their honor. Almost caught it, down to 1. Catches it, brings the player back in. That is a fast turnaround. We lose 1, we gain 1. Player on the right thought that he caught it, but he didn't. The other player was distracted by the conversation and gets tagged out. Just in time. Leaving only 1 player, which means the money ball is in effect. We've yet to see a player sink a money ball yet in this round. Maybe ever. Can he do it? He's going to go for it. Oh, audience member gets a ball in the face. That's the risk you take when you play dodgeball. All right, and the team on the left catches it, knocking Ballbusters out of the round. Match goes to Swoldiers, easily clinching round 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Coming into round 5, Stewarts Service on the left versus the MACU Depth Crushers. Depth Crushers on the right. You may remember Stewarts from earlier tonight when they were unable to tackle Epstein didn't kill himself. This is their chance at redemption as most of them make it to the line, furiously grabbing at dodgeballs. A Deck Crusher on the right stepped too far over the line and got himself out. Both players, or both teams rather, down a player. Teams take a second now. The calm before the storm as they assess their opponents. All of our players here in round 5, really starting to warm up and find their stride. These finely tuned machines of war train all year for this. There are some that do it for the thrill, but most of them do it to defend their family's honor. Regardless of how they perform tonight, all of them will go home with their heads held high, knowing that not just anyone can come out here and put on such a brave display of skill. Players on the right getting knocked out. Players on the left giving a better showing this round. Catches the ball, knocks a player out. It came, I think it bounced off the ground, so it didn't count. But still, a nice catch. Player on the right easily blocks the incoming hail of dodgeball bullets. Dances around it effortlessly. That's right, effortlessly. That's a word now. Team on the right, on the left at full strength as our team on the right is down 7 players. 3 versus 10. The odds aren't looking good. Still, as we've seen in the past, teams can come back from almost certain defeat and deliver their own crushing defeat of the opposing team. We really want to see the Depth Crushers here crush their opponents. We're down to 2 on the right. Catches it, brings the teammate back in. Just in the nick of time. Sacrifices the body and rolls across the floor to avoid an incoming hail of bullets. and then knocks himself out when he tries to catch a low dodgeball. Down to just one, which means money ball is in effect. Sizes up his options. Easily deflects it. Dances out of the way. Hits him in the foot, and he is honorable enough to realize he is out. All right, match one of round 5 goes to Stewarts Service, handing a crushing defeat to the MACU Debt Crushers. You might see the young fella down there on the line helping set dodgeballs. You really have to start young if you want to become one of the top players in this Olympic level sport. You may remember last year we had a baby that was in the audience who was hitten by an errant dodgeball. Well, that young man grew up to be that young boy that just set the dodgeball out on the line. When you get a taste for dodgeball, you never outgrow it. Players rush off to the line. Stewarts grabs most of the dodgeballs and easily knocks out 2 of their opponents, showing the Debt Crushers that they are not messing around. Debt Crushers are really going to have to get serious in this match if they want to have a chance at coming back to move on in competitive play. Players on the left tagging themselves out when they try to catch a ball and miss. You got to be sure-fingered. Our player in the front gets hit twice, and John Talese saunters off the stage. Stewarts has really given us a good showing this go-around. They learned from their defeats earlier tonight and have come back renewed, invigorated, ready to destroy their opponents. You can see them talking to each other, strategizing, communicating. Our team on the left tries to take advantage of a seemingly easy target, only to be foiled at the last second. The Debt Crushers on the left now, slowly being crushed further and further back into the recesses of the basketball court. Stewarts Service serving up a handy amount of dodgeball pain. Our team on the right was at full strength. Now down 1. Five versus 9. It's still anybody's game. Player knocks out with a solid kidney shot on the right. There we go. Down to just 3 players. Oh, he caught it. Is it going to count? They can't decide. They're indecisive about it. So we're going to go with no. Down to just 3 players on the left versus overwhelming odds on the right. Ref says it was a good catch and brings in another player. She catches another one and brings another one back. Nicely done. You can see the audience is really responding to that. Tension's building as the players are now starting to get tired. Tired but determined. Like well-oiled machines. They just keep working and working. Dodgeball after dodgeball. Almost makes a catch, but not quite. Hard to catch with the back of your hands. Back down to 4 on the left versus 4 on the right. Handily evening up the odds. Thought he had deflected it, but not quite. Ref calls him out. Down to just 3 versus 4. Still could go either way. Deck Crushers really need to push hard if they want to make it. They know it. You can see the tension. Nice catch by our player on the left. Knocks the player out. They're up 1, and the other team is down to just 3. That's the Deck Crusher's star player tonight. She's made more catches than the other team. Team on the right's caught a ball and brings another team member back in. Nice deflection by the team on the left. Nice deflection by the team on the right. Excellent use of the fundamentals. The 5 Ds. If you don't know what they are, ask your granddad. He'll tell you. 5 versus 1. Money ball is in effect. He can't decide if he's out or not. All right. I guess he's staying in. 5 versus 2. Money ball not in effect. Our players on the left putting up a desperate last-ditch defense. Suddenly she's called out, and we got another player back in. Still 2 versus 4. A full armload of dodgeballs as he unleashes fury. Unable to connect. So what we find tonight is it's not quite the quantity of dodgeballs you throw, but maybe the quality that we need to be concerned about. Our players on the left biding their time, weighing their options. Team on the right knocks one out and gains one back. 4 versus 1. Money ball now in effect. Ref calls it, says it hit his hand, and that's the round. Stewarts Service takes the round, winning round 5. All right, we're back for round 6 of the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Keller Williams on the left and the MACU Loan Sharks on the right. I don't know about you, but when I think bank, I don't want to think loan shark. Let's see if they can smell blood in the water and tear up their opponents. Both teams are at the starting line, and they're ready to race toward the middle. Whichever team gets there first can have the decided advantage, knocking out players from the opposing team. They're ready, and off we go as players race towards the line. The Lone Sharks just hanging out. Keller Williams took control of all of the dodgeballs at the start of their match. Can they leverage that advantage and knock out some players on the other side? So this kind of moment, oh, they knock out one. When you have all of the dodgeballs, you really need to communicate with each other, because if you unleash a hail of dodgeballs at just a few players all at the same time, it's that much harder to dodge. Dive, dip, duck, or dodge your way out of the way. And you're much more likely to make a solid connection and knock an opposing player out. Keller Williams still at full strength. The Lone Sharks down 3, leaving them just 7 players on the field. Oh, I spoke too soon. We're down 9 versus 7. Still anybody's game. Oh, 7 versus 7. Lone Sharks easily evening up the playing field. Our bearded player on the right, on the left, has got quite an arm on him. Players throwing dodgeballs back and forth furiously, failing to connect on either side. A player making her way out gets hit in the foot. Just like brave Achilles. Take a dodgeball to the foot and you'll be slain just as surely as an arrow to the heel. 4 players remaining on the left versus 6 players remaining on the right. Now we're down to just 3. Oh, somebody caught one, and they bring one back in and getting back up those strength in numbers. Double deflection by our player on the left. He throws one and misses and gets himself tagged out. You have to take those risks, though. Nothing ventured, nothing gained in dodgeball. Our players on the left have whittled down their opponents on the right. Now it's 3 versus 2. You can see all of their teammates on both sides waiting on the line, hoping for their chance to get back into the game and restore some of their lost honor. Down to just 1 left on the right. The Lone Sharks doing their best to stay in the game. 2 versus 1. Money ball's in effect. He puts it up and misses. Our player on the left with the white hat has got a serious arm, knocking the Lone Sharks out of the match. Match 1 of round 6 goes to Keller Williams. All right, we're back for match 2 of round 6. Keller Williams versus the MACU Lone Sharks. Keller Williams winning match 1 of round 6. Teams have swapped sides to eliminate any home field advantage that may be present. Maybe a light is glaring more in one direction than the other. You never know. None of our players look particularly squinties, but we like to be fair. Refs are waiting for something. Both teams on each side comprised of 10 players. Oh, they're waiting for our head ref to return. All right, he's back. All right, we were down a dodgeball. It had bounced into the other gym. It's been recovered. We're back up to full fighting strength on each side and with enough ammunition to make this an interesting round. Players are off for the line. Lone Sharks hanging back from the line. A strategy that didn't seem to work too well for them last time, but if they can dodge out of the way this time, they'll recover all the dodgeballs. Tries to catch it, misses. Player on the right, knocking out 2 players on the left. It's now 8-10. Keller Williams on the right showing us that they have what it takes to win this dodgeball tournament. Nine versus 6 now. Keller Williams easily picking off their opponents. Keller Williams putting up a fierce fight as the Lone Sharks on the left seem to be distracted by the fact that the only blood they're smelling in the water is their own, as they get picked off one by one. Now down to 4 versus 7. Keller Williams team seems to be comprised of ferocious, agile athletes. Everybody's shooting and moving, shooting and moving. The Lone Sharks on the left, sizing up their options. Caught off guard. We're down to just 2 versus 7. Technique that Keller Williams seems to be employing is if you throw the dodgeball hard enough, If it doesn't connect with somebody, but bounces off the back wall, it's likely to roll back across the line, giving them a second chance. That's what we call tactics in the dodgeball industry. Still down to just 2 players left on the left, holding their own against this numerically superior enemy on the right. Oh, down to just 1. Money ball's in effect for MACU. 1 minute left on the clock. And he's out. All right, round 6 goes to Keller Williams, winning both matches. The Lone Sharks put up a stiff competition. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Just coming into round 7. Blackhawks on the left versus Aspen Heights on the right. It's the first time we've seen Aspen Heights tonight. We saw Blackhawks earlier when they clinched a win against the sitting Ducks in round 2. Coming into round 7, have they still got the energy to fight off a fresh team? Only time will tell. Ten players per side. Only 8 dodgeballs on the line. That means at any given point, only 8 people have a dodgeball. Meaning 12 don't. Some of our health conscious players on the right taking the downtime before the game begins to stretch. Good advice. We call that a health tip. Health tip, as Jablinski would say. All right, we're getting to go into round 7. Ref checks in, teams are ready to go, and here's the whistle. Teams run off for the line. The Blackhawks don't even make an attempt to run up the line, conserving their energy for the battle to come. Now we'll see if our Aspen Heights team is any good at aiming. So far, they've squandered the fact that they had all the dodgeballs by missing all of their shots. And then returning fire, we've knocked out 2 players already. One player just rolling around on the ground. Six players on the right versus 9 players on the left. 9 highly trained, seasoned veterans of the game are our Blackhawks. One player on the right decides to show off some fancy dance moves and roll dance his way right across the center line, knocking himself out of the game. His strategy seemed to work, though, as the players on the left seem quite confused and not sure exactly what just happened. Down to just 3 players on the right as the Blackhawks systematically whittle them down further and further. Relentlessly barrage after barrage of dodgeball brutality. Still, our remaining 3 players on the right holding their own against a numerically superior enemy. Deftly dodging. Ref calls him out as he tries to block a ball, but misses. Down to just 1 player left on the right. Moneyball's in the air, overshoots it, misses, knocks a player out on the left who's watching for the money ball. Easily knocks him out. Misses, dodges, ooh, nice block. Moneyball's in the air, A little too much height and a little too much stank on it. And he's out. Nice, valiant effort by the team on the right. Match 1 of round 7 goes to the Blackhawks. All right, we're back for match 2 of round 7, Blackhawks versus Aspen Heights. Blackhawks now on the right, Aspen Heights on the left. There's the whistle. Aspen Heights takes advantage of it, runs out to the line and catches all the dodgeballs. Can they maximize their advantage and knock some players out on the other side? Most of their attacks fail to connect. One hit somebody in the head. Headshots don't count. Ref calls one out on the left. Aspen Heights now down to 7 players. Blackhawks standing strong at 9. A handy catch for the team on the left. Brings a player back in. Still, no matter how many players they have, they're not going to win if they can't knock the other team out. In order to do that, those dodgeballs need to connect. Fratricide happening here on the left side as a teammate is hit in the back by his own teammate. Was it on purpose? Nobody knows. Team on the right, the Blackhawks, holding with 8 players versus 7 on the left. Great energy we're seeing from our players here on the right as they nice catch by the team on the right. Knocks a player out on the left and brings one of their own back into the game. Player on the left tried to jump out of the way of the dodgeball, but the player on the right anticipated him, and he jumped right into it. Dodgeball right in the chest. And just like that, we're down to just 3 players left on Aspen Heights. Now down to 2. 2 of the younger, perhaps less experienced, but now he's out down to 1. Moneyball's in effect. 1 player left. It all rests on him. Can he make a money ball? This is the sort of thing dreams are made out of. Uses a money ball to distract somebody and knocks another player out. And he catches it. And he's out. All right, the win goes to Blackhawks, meaning that the Blackhawks take round 7. All right, we're back for round 8. Swoldiers versus Say Wins. Swoldiers here on the left make it to the line and gather all the dodgeballs. Both of these teams are returning from wins earlier in the night. And we get a knockout on the right, bringing us down to 9 versus 10. Swoldiers put up a heck of a fight in their first match, easily winning. Say Win did as well, though. 2 in a row. Both of these teams are primed and ready for action. Who is going to come out on top? Swoldiers goes for the catch and misses. Both teams standing strong at 9 players each. Now down to 8 on the left, 9 on the right. Knocking out a player on the right, and we're back to even teams, 8 versus 8. Player number 11 gets knocked out on the left. Similarly, player number 3. These teams are trading even blows, now down to 7 players each. Is this perhaps the most evenly matched competition we've seen tonight? Both teams trading similar blows, maintaining similar numbers of players on the field. Each team hungry for the win and a delicious turkey dinner. Dodgeballs flying furiously across our faces. all of them failing to connect. Oh, he prevailed right into being off of the field. 7 versus 6. Swoldiers just eking out a lead. Will it be enough? Swoldiers pressing their advantage. Say Wen seems to be feeling the pinch. Now down to just 3 players that quickly. They went from 6 to 3. Can they turn the tide? Ooh, Dodgeball narrowly missing the player's head on the right. Fails to make the catch, and he's out. Down to just 2 on the right versus 6 on the left. 7 on the left. Swoldiers pressing their advantage. Down to just 1 sole player left on the right. Moneyball's in effect. Can she take advantage of it? Doesn't go for the money ball. Instead tries to tag out other players. Now she's going for the money ball. A little too high. Ooh, dances right out of the way of an incoming barrage of bullets. Holding her own rather gracefully. That was close. Goes for the money ball again. A little too high. Swoldiers unable. Knocks out a player. Nicely done. Swoldiers unable. And she's hitting the foot and she's out. A valiant, valiant last stand. Well done. All right, Swoldiers take match 1 of round 8. All right, we're back for match 2 of round 8. Swoldiers versus Say Wen. Both teams sending as many players as they can to the line, several stepping over. No lack of good sportsmanship on either side of the team. These are professional athletes. Just here to have a good time and win that coveted trophy. Swoldiers were Swoldiers winning the first match of the round. Say Wen eager as ever to show that they can make a comeback and take the win. We're down 7-9. Say Wen taking a beating. Pounded by ball after ball. Bloodied but not broken. Their determination growing ever stronger as their numbers dwindle. Swoldiers back to full strength. They're not going to make it easy. Say Wen down to just 4 players. Unlucky circumstance, or is it part of their strategy? I think that depends on if they win or not. If they lose, it was bad luck. If they win, it was all according to plan. Still holding strong at 4 versus 10. Considering only 8 players at a time can have a dodgeball, or 1 player can have more than one, the extra numbers on the right don't really mean that much necessarily if all the dodgeballs are in the hands of the smaller team. Goes for the catch and misses. She's out. Down to 3 on the left versus 8 on the right. Solid catch by the team on the right. Swoldiers bring another one back in. We're down to 2. She must not have noticed that he caught it, and the refs didn't notice either. Oh, there we got her. Karma catches up to you. Down to just 1. He got hit in the elbow. 1 left for Say Wen. Throws up the money ball. Oh, deflected. Deflected. And they're out. Say Wen handed a crushing defeat by the Swoldiers. Swoldiers take round 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're off into round 9. MACU Deck Crushers on the left versus Epstein Didn't Kill Himself on the right. Epstein Didn't Kill Himself being our champs from round 1. where they won over Stewarts Service, but Stewarts Service made a comeback in round 5, winning over the Debt Crushers. Debt Crushers versus Epstein didn't kill himself now. Both teams with something to prove and nothing to lose. EDKH on the right, down to just 8 players versus 9 on the left. Still anybody's game. Can the Debt Crushers put up a daring defense against these dastardly dodgeball? Dribblers, I guess. Epstein makes a catch on the right. Knocks player out on the left, brings one of their teammates back in. Debt Crushers on the left, sizing up their opponents. Ooh. Wondering, can we do it? Now down to just 3 that quickly. EDKH definitely pressing their advantage. Not letting the Debt Crushers catch their breath. Almost catches it. Nice dive. Not often do we see that fundamental D of the game put into play. Down to 1. Money ball's in effect. It's up. And he catches it. And they're out. All right. Epstein didn't kill himself. Wins match 1 of round 9. Our young referee in training helping put the dodgeballs out on the line. Just like the Spartans of old, they start at birth and they train their whole lives to get here. Speaking of Spartans of old, this one's wearing a Spartan helmet on his shirt. Coincidence? I think not. Back for match 2 of round 9. The Debt Crushers versus Epstein didn't kill himself, and they're off for the line. Debt Crushers make it to the line and get most of the dodgeballs. Failing to knock out a single opponent, they are unable to leverage their advantage. Epstein now on the left, Debt Crushers on the right. Nice catch by Pizza Hut shirt on the left, knocks a player out on the right. They're still at full strength. Versus 1, and then he gets knocked out. You make the catch, you tend to get a little cocky, you gotta pay attention. This is a fast-paced game. Not often when you have these many balls flying past your face do you have an opportunity to not pay attention. Players on the right getting tagged out. Down to just 6 players left on the field versus the numerically superior 9 on the left. We're down to just 3. Can they hold out? Knocks another player out. Excellent connection. Now down to 2. Oh, hits him in the chest, bounces into his face. He's out. Down to just 1. Money ball's back in effect. Can she make the basket? We haven't seen a single money ball get in yet. If anybody can do it, this player can do it. Let's go for the line. Oh! She tries to distract him and tags herself out. All right, round 9 goes to Epstein didn't kill himself. Handily defeating the Debt Crushers. Into round 10, Keller Williams on the left versus Tokos on the right. Tokos we haven't seen yet in this side of the field. They've been playing in the West Gym. Here we are in the East Gym. Let's face it, the East Gym is the cool gym. Keller Williams had a handy handy win earlier, where they defeated the Loan Sharks, the MACU Loan Sharks. Tokos, the first time we've seen them over here. We're not sure where they're at in the standings, but they seem to be putting up one heck of a fight already. Knocking Keller Williams down to just 7 players on the field. Well, it's still fairly evenly matched, 7-7. Now 6-7. That's how fast the tide can turn. Keller Williams has shown great energy tonight. Can they keep it up? Can they go the distance? Player on the Tokos team dodges around 3 incoming dodgeballs, returns fire, and knocks a player out. Keller Williams down to just 3 players left on the field. And these just the opening minutes of this match. For those of you watching at home, we're in round 10. Keller Williams on the left, down to just 2 players. Tokos on the right. Making it one short night. Ball hits him in the foot, and he's out. His psychedelic SpongeBob t-shirt distracting the players on the other team, making it easier for his own teammates to strike them out. Psychological warfare at its finest. Down to just 1 player left for Keller Williams. Moneyball's in effect. Can she survive? 3 players remaining on the right. She's got an arm. Oh. Looks like the refs are calling it. The player that hit her was out, but she's out too. All right, first win of the round goes to Tokos. All right, we're back for match 2 of round 10. Keller Williams now on the right, Tokos on the left. Tokos took the win for the first match of the round. Keller Williams definitely eager to make a comeback. He knew he was out, but he wanted to give as good as he got. Tokos on the left. Calm, collected, confident in their ability to win. Keller Williams on the right. Determined. Gritting their teeth against the fight, ready to make the comeback of a century. Handily knocking out several players from this team on the left, evening up the odds, who return the favor and knock even more players out on the right. That is what we call a barrage of deadly dodgeball. Pretty sure she got hit by like 6 dodgeballs, so I'm not sure how she's still in, but what do I know? 6 on the left versus 5 on the right. Keller Williams giving it everything they have just to make it through the night. 7 on the left. 4 on the right. Our plucky and intrepid dodgeballers doing the best they can. Now down to just 3. Now down to 2. 2 versus 7. Now, those of you watching at home, you might be feeling a little tense right now. You think there's no way Keller Williams can come back from this. But we've seen it happen. We know miracles happen. Don't you watch Disney Channel? The plucky underdogs, scrappy, fighting their hardest just when it seems darkest, making the comeback of a lifetime to clinch the win and secure those highly sought after Dodgeball t-shirts. Down to just one player left on the right. The same player that remained last time. Tenacious. Agile. This is clearly an athlete that has trained her whole life for this. Returns fire, knocks the player out. 1 versus 4. 1 versus 5. Players on the left failing to connect with our player on the right. She's got her head on a swivel. She's going for the money ball. And she's out. She knows it. Good on her. All right. Tokos clinches the win for round 10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 11 of the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Here in round 11, we've got Aspen Heights versus the Sitting Ducks. You may remember both teams from earlier in the night. Sitting Ducks faced off against the Blackhawks, but were unable to prevail. Aspen Heights also faced off against the Blackhawks and were unable to prevail. So who's going to win tonight out of the Aspen Heights and Sitting Ducks? Only time will tell. Both teams are on the line, just waiting, ready and waiting for that referee to blow the whistle. And off they go. Who's going to make it to the line? Sitting Ducks recovering most of the dodgeballs, knocking out a couple of players from the team on the right. Sitting Ducks over here on the left and Aspen Heights on the right. Two players down for the Sitting Ducks. Aspen Heights still at full strength now. Sitting Ducks recovers one player. Now they're 9 versus 10. Furious exchange of fire as both teams try to knock out players on the other side. As we start to get into these later games, we see all of our players are warmed up and agile from their previous encounters. Both of these teams know they have something to prove if they want to stay in the and make it to bracket play at the end. Aspen Heights on the right, deftly diving, ducking, and dodging around the incoming dodge balls. Yeah. 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 Sitting Ducks on the left, knocking the team on the right down to just 6 players. But regaining most of the ammunition as they fire a full slate of dodgeball deliciousness at the incoming players. Most of the ammunition is over in the hands of Aspen Heights. Can they leverage that advantage and knock out the opponents? 5 versus 6. A barrage of dodgeballs aimed at one player and all of them miss. That's the risk you take when you play a game like dodgeball. Players on the left sizing up their opponents, calculating every strike, judging wind and airspeed, humidity, taking into account all of the variables that may throw off their throw. These athletes are precision-tuned machines. Once again, with decades, years of training under their belt. Both teams evenly matched right now. 5 players on each side of the court. And a catch by the team on the left, knocks a player on the right out and brings a player in on the left. Down to 4 on the right and 6 on the left. Player on the right handily blocks an incoming dodgeball and returns fire. Nice jump, dodge, and attack. Knocks a player out, knocks 2 out in a row. Aspen Heights now at 4, and Sitting Ducks down to 2. Goes for the catch and misses it. Two versus 4, it could still go either way. Our players on the right gaining confidence as they whittle down their opponents on the left. Can they take advantage of their numerically superior numbers? Down to just 1 left on the left. Money ball is in play. 1 versus 3 could still go either way. He wants to get that money ball in, but he needs to keep an eye on the opponents. Easy to get distracted. Money ball's in the air, and he misses. Aspen Heights failing to connect with any of their dodgeball ammunition. Dodgeball's up, and he catches it, tags himself out. The win goes to Aspen Heights here in round 11. All right, back to match 2 in round 11. Aspen Heights defeating Sitting Ducks in the first match of the round. Both teams starting to feel the pinch, feel the weight of the responsibility of winning this match. Sitting Ducks on the right, Aspen Heights on the left. Teams have swapped sides to eliminate home field advantage. Both teams taking a moment to smell the roses or size up their opponents, catch their breath perhaps, ponder the mysteries of the universe. Goes for the catch, misses but doesn't get hit. Takes a dodgeball to the face and the chest, knocking himself out. 6 versus 7. Aspen Heights has the lead. Can Sitting Ducks recover? If Sitting Ducks loses here, it doesn't bode well for them making it the bracket play. Nice catch by the Sitting Ducks on the right, knocks the player out on the left, brings their numbers up while it dwindles the other teams simultaneously. Six versus 6, still evenly matched. Most of the dodgeball ammunition, well, evenly dispersed, being that there's 8 balls, 4 on each side. All the dodgeballs make their way back to the right, all of them failing to connect with an opponent. Team on the right returning the favor, knocking a player out. Leaving just 4 players left on the left to defend against the players on the right. 6 versus 4. And he's out. Goes for the catch and misses, and he's out on the right. Our team on the left evening up the numbers. Ball's in the air and no catch. Down to just 3 on the left. Can they do it? Can they hold out? Sitting Ducks on the right. Really coming back hard, fighting for all that they're worth. Down to just 1 player remaining on the left. Goes for the mini ball, almost gets it. A handy block from our player on the left. Oh, throw the money ball, almost makes it, and throws himself out. All right, we're tied. Aspen Heights with one, and Sitting Ducks taking the second match of the round. We'll go now to the tie-breaking round. All right, we're back for match 3 of round 11. Aspen Heights versus Sitting Ducks, each team with 1 win in the round. Sitting Ducks now on the left, takes advantage of the rush to the line and gets hold of most of the dodgeballs. Team on the right, deftly dancing around the incoming dodgeballs. It's hitting the ankle, but manages to stay in. Both teams down to 8 players right off the bat. Hop after hop, he's unable to stop the incoming dodgeball attack, and he's out. Sitting Ducks on the left with most of the dodgeball ammunition, throwing ball after ball after ball after ball. Nice catch by our player on the right. That ball had some pepper on it. Maybe a little bit of salt. Perhaps some oregano. I don't know. But you might say it's time for these players to get back to business and quit talking about cooking. 9 players on the right versus 6 on the left. 8 players on the right versus 5 on the left. Most of the dodgeballs in the hands of Aspen Heights. Sitting Ducks made a ferocious comeback to take match 2 of round 11. Both teams have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Nothing to lose but the tournament. Both really got to bring their A game right now, and they know it. You can see it in their faces as tension begins to furrow their brows. Five players remaining on the left, 7 players remaining on the right. It's still anybody's game. Return fire, he gets hit in the ankle and he's out, down to just 6 remaining on the right and 4 on the left. Now down to 3 on the left. Now down to 2 on the left. That fast. Dodgeball is dangerous business. 2 players versus 6 players. Player on the right employing the squeaky shoe offense technique. As we discovered earlier, it's a calculated strategy to distract the opponent. Sitting Ducks still holding strong with just 2 defensive players. Down to 1. Money ball's in effect. Can he go the distance? He's out, money ball's up, and it's gone. All right, that gives the win to Aspen Heights, cinching the win in round 11. All right, we're back to round 12 at the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Say When and the Ballbusters, both of them teams we've seen before, making it back onto the floor. Say When on the left and Ballbusters on the right. You may notice that our teams have both employed a strategy designed to distract the other team by not wearing matching uniforms and not having their team name on anything that they're wearing. It easily confuses their opponents, so they can't tell if they're a friend or a foe. Eight players on the left and 7 players in the fight on the right. Are players on the right going to put up with it, or are they going to say, no, we're not going to take it? No, we ain't going to take it. Down to 7 on the left versus 7 on the right. They've evened up the odds. It's still anybody's game. Six on the left, 6 on the right. Both of these teams seem to be fairly evenly matched, dishing out and receiving equal amounts of punishment. Down to 5 on the left and 6 on the right. Is this a calculated break in the action? As our teams size up their opponents, trying to decide which strategy would best serve. Six versus 4. Our player on the left makes a catch, knocks the player on the right out, and brings one of his teammates back into the game. Now evened up, 5 versus 5. Neither of these teams making it easy for the other. Still 5 and 5. Ball busters on the right. Saywen on the left. Makes the catch and brings the teammate back in. Now down to 4 versus 6. Still only 8 dodgeballs on the floor. Nice block by the team on the left. They return fire and knock out a player on the right, dropping them down to just 2 left. Saywen really bringing their A game now. If they're able to defeat the Ballbusters in this, the second match of round 12, we'll go to match 3 for the tiebreaker. Ballbusters still holding on with just 2 players. See the smile on his face. He's having a great time, and he gets the catch. Round goes to Saywen. We're going into round 3. Sudden death overtime. We're back for match 3 of round 12. Saywen and Ballbusters. Each team has 1 win during the round. Saywen is now on the right. Ballbusters now on the left. Teams are off, trying to get the ammunition. Only 1 player on the left made an attempt to get to the dodgeballs. He was knocked out for his effort, but still, you have to take those risks. Nothing ventured, nothing gained in dodgeball. High Prevail on the right goes for the catch and misses, knocking himself out. Ballbusters on the left side here with numerical superiority. Can they leverage their advantage? They seem to think so. Saywen on the right, not about to go down without a fight. A lull in the action as the teams catch their breath and plan their next move. The thing you may notice is you can't win by not throwing dodgeballs. Knocking a player out on the right. Ballbusters holding strong at 9 players, where Saywen is down to 6. Now down to 5. Bloodied but unbowed, they return fire and lose another of their own team for the effort. 4 versus 9. Staggering, but not insurmountable odds. Lets loose with a hard shot from the right, knocks the player on the left out. And he is not happy about it. Evens up the odds quite a bit. Now 4 versus 6. Goes for the catch, almost has it, but misses it. 3 versus 6. Nope, 4 versus 6. Still anybody's game. Oh no, 3. 2 versus 4. 5. I learned to count in public school. 2 versus 5. Can these two go the distance? Employing a strategy to hoard all of the dodgeball ammunition, limiting the chances that they can be hit by an opposing teammate, maximizing their opportunities to return fire and knock out any enemy. Nice block. Both dodgeballs coming in hot from the right, failed to connect with their target. Recovers another dodgeball ammunition. Our players on the right unable to connect with our players on the left, but still holding their own. That's what we'd like to see, the team working together, sharing the ammunition amongst each other, giving each player an equal opportunity to deflect incoming dodgeball attacks and return fire. Our ref gets hit on the sideline. He's good-natured about it. For now. Down to just 1 left on the right versus 4 on the left. She goes for the money ball. Almost hits it, so close. Players on the left sending zinger after our lone remaining player on the right. Can she hold out? Can she get her team back in? Nice deflection. 2 in a row. She's not worried. Oh, goes for the catch and misses. He's out, but she's still in. Down. Oh, and she's out. Ballbusters take the win in round 12.
I guess we're back for round 4.
And I genuinely don't know what's happening. Some serious commotion from the audience as some serious action happens. All right, Say When back on the left. Ballbusters on the right. And he's out. Ooh, some serious tension as our players engage with the audience. Always a heckler, always a critic that thinks they can play the game better. You know what we say to that? If you can play the game better, get out there and play. Say When on their left. Ballbusters on the right. Dodgeball is flying in way off into the stratosphere. Not likely to connect with an opponent. Adjusts his aim and hits too low. He's got to dial it in and find that sweet spot right in the middle. Nice singer, knocks the player on the right out. Turns fire from the right to the left and fails to connect. We're down to just 4 players on the left. Versus 6 on the right. Players on the left hoarding their ammunition. Shot after shot, failing to connect. Nice deflection by the team on the right. And he's out. Down to 5 on the right versus 5 on the left, evenly matched. Our player on the right getting a little cocky, dances out of the way. Starting to feel the energy. Players on the left with only 1 dodgeball to their name. They're not worried. They know how fast these stakes can turn. And now they've got 4. Deftly ducking to dodge out of the way of an incoming dodgeball dive bomb. Deftly deflects and returns fire to the right. Fails to connect. Team on the right recovering the dodgeballs off the ground, sizing up their opponents and letting fly. This guy in the blue's got an arm. Don't want to get hit in the face with that. Although now that I think about it, there's not many things I can think of that I would like to get hit in the face with. But a dodgeball is probably pretty high on the list. 5 versus 4. Ballbusters on the right, flexing their name and zinging those balls across the court as hard as they can. Say when on the left. Kicks the dodgeball. I don't think that would count, but it was pretty fun to watch. 4 versus 5. Whoa! 3 versus 6 as a player throws the ball only to have it caught by the opposing team. Six versus 3, double the numbers, double the fun. Nice deflection and out. Hits him in the hand. Down to 2 on the left versus 6 on the right. This is where the audience really starts to get drawn in. You can feel the tension escalating. Makes the catch. No! Deflects it. Brings the team member back in. A nice deflection. Our player on the right hangs his head in shame. Down to just 1 remaining on the left. Money ball's in effect. Still haven't had a money ball made yet tonight. As our player knocks out the opposing player who wasn't paying attention. Whittling the enemy team down to just 3. 1 versus 3. Tries to knock him out. He's holding his own admirably. Putting up a defense anyone could be proud of. Turns it around and goes on the offense. Misses both. Down to just 2 on the right. Can he turn it around? 2 versus 1. The refs are calling a shootout. Never in all my years as a dodgeball commentator have I seen the audience go so wild. The air is electric. You can feel the tension in the air. Hearts are pounding. One-to-one shootout, sudden death. Only 2 dodgeballs on the floor. Each player gets one. They start from the opposing side. Last man standing wins. It's sudden death. Both players sizing each other up. The audience, the crowd, feeling the energy, each cheering for their own team. Both players unsure what's going to happen. They're tagging each other out. The ref's got to make the call. Calling it a tie, they got to do it again. The mid-court line is no longer out of bounds. The whole court is available. We're into sudden death round 2. There's the whistle. They're into it. Here we go. Who's going to come out on top? Sizing each other up. Neither connects. He's got the dodgeball. He's on the hunt, and he wins! Ladies and gentlemen, if you could be here now. Outstanding. What a win. All right, congratulations to Say When. They won round 2, defeating the Ballbusters in sudden death. Up next, we're coming into round 13 for the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Here in round 13, we're seeing Epstein Didn't Kill Himself face off against Dodge a Wrench, which you may recognize as a reference to the patron saint movie of the dodgeball sports phenomenon. Both teams make for the line. Our team on the left recovers most of the dodgeball ammunition, yet neither team has fired a shot. There we go. And a solid catch by the team on the left. He doesn't have a player to bring back in, but he knocks a player out on the right. Team on the right down to just 8 players. Now back up to 9 as they throw a ball that was caught by a player on their own team. 9 versus 9. Each team fairly evenly matched. Epstein Didn't Kill Himself over here on the right, and our Dodge a Wrench on the left. First time we've seen them in this gym tonight. Epstein, our reigning champs so far tonight, with 2 wins under their belt. Dodge a Wrench putting up a heck of a fight already, knocking Epstein down to just 2 players on the floor. Player gets knocked out, but he hoards the dodgeball ammunition for his own team, as one does. 7 versus 6 right now. Or 7 versus 8. Easily dodges out of the way. Makes it look like it's nothing. But to get dodging skills like that doesn't just happen in a day. Many of these players study the fine arts like ballet to learn these impressive, truly impressive dodge moves. Our team's evened up a little more evenly now. 4 players left. 5 players left on the left, 5 players left on the right. Once again, we see that both of these teams are fairly evenly matched, trading blows and knocking opponents off the court at a stunningly even rate. I'm so stunned I can't even think of words. Down to just 4 players remaining on the left versus 4 players on the right. Team on the left working together to send a barrage of dodgeballs down all at the same time. It's a killer strategy that often works. Players on the right deftly dodging around the incoming dodgeballs. Down to just 2 players remaining on the left. The saying goes, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, but clearly these players haven't been able to dodge either. Down to just 1 player. Moneyball's in effect. He threw it up in the air and missed. He gets tagged out by the players on the right. Epstein didn't kill himself, taking match 1 of round 13. All right, we're back. Oop. Never mind. A false start on both sides. We're coming back into match 2 of round 13. Epstein didn't kill himself versus Dodge a Wrench. Epstein didn't kill himself on the left, Dodge a Wrench on the right. Epstein didn't kill himself, winning match 1 of the round. Players are off for the line, fighting over the same dodgeballs, knocking several players out on the left. Our team on the right remains at full strength. They've really got to fight hard this time around if they want to make a comeback and go into round 3. Tries to dodge by pirouetting out of the way and rolls across the ground only to fail. Again, it's a game of risk. Calculations that you've got to make on the fly. Millions of factors you have to consider. Our players on the left faking out their opponents, pretending to throw the ball. And then they all throw together and make the connection, knocking a player on the right out. Players on the left hitting the back wall hard enough that the dodgeballs have rolled back across to them. Our players on the right, down to 6 players on the court. Returning fire, 7 versus 6. Our Spartan friend tries to spin out of the way and gets shot right in the back. Still, we're sitting tied at 7 versus 6, now 7 versus 5. Dodge a Wrench making a strong comeback. And a handy catch by our team on the left, bringing a player back in. Another catch brings another player back in. Whittles the opposing team down to just 4 players on the court. Another player stepped out, so we're down to 4 versus 6. Now 4 versus 5. Sends a zinger, almost throws it right out into the hallway to strike a passing pedestrian. That ball did go out in the hall and hit a passing pedestrian. 5 on the left and 4 on the right. Go team go, fight, fight, fight. Our player in the green on the left showing off his agile dancing ability. He's out. He tried to deflect it, but it hit his arm. Even if you block the ball with your dodgeball, if it then touches any part of your body before hitting the floor, you're out. Down to just 3 defenders on the right. Now down to 3 on the left. Still evenly matched, 3 versus 3. Who's going to come out on top? EDKH on the left throws 2 dodgeballs at once and fails to connect. 2 more dodgeballs come back in from the right over to the left and fail to connect. Dodgeballs bouncing off the wall. If they hit the wall or the floor, they're a dead ball. Tag one out on the left, tag one out on the right. Fairly evenly matched still, 2 versus 2. Still anybody's game. All these cartwheels right over the incoming ball. That's what we like to see, a little bit of agility out of our athletes. That might make him the MVP of the night. Dodgeball's flying in. And he catches it. Blocks it and catches it. Down to just 1. Money ball's in effect. It's in the air. It's caught. He's out. Epstein didn't kill himself. Wins round 13. All right, we're back for round 14 of the Spanish Fork Parks and Rec 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Up next, we've got Tokos on the right and Blackhawks on the left. Both teams ready to rock and roll. Blackhawks have won 2 of their games so far here in the East Gym. Who's going to come out on top? Tokos and Blackhawks off to the line. Here we go. Tokos taking advantage of it, recovering all the dodgeball ammunition. For some reason, our player kicked the ball across, which doesn't count. 5 dodgeballs come in at once, and not a single one hits. Oh. Dodgeball in the crowd, caught by the audience member. Spectators out here in the crowd, still full of energy, still having a great time. Player on the left is in still. Ref calls it as a head hit, which doesn't count. Most of the dodgeballs in the hands of our team on the left. Zinging shot after shot over to the players on the right. Knocking one out of the game. Eight versus 7. Still too early to say. These players really putting some heat on these dodgeballs. Almost catches it, but gets knocked out. Down to 5, down to 4 versus 7. Can happen that fast. Tokos suddenly having their defensive line pushed back as Blackhawks go on the offense. Really pushing hard to win. Goes for the catch on the left and misses. He is knocked out of the game. 5 versus 4. Still too early to call. Players on the right making the attack and then hastily retreating, creating space. Whoa! 2 balls collide in midair. We don't see that too often. Pretty cool. Reaches over the line to recover a ball, which you can reach over the line. You just can't step over the line. So the refs allow it. Spins out of the way, and it gets hit in the back. Down to 4 versus 4. It could still go either way. Goes for the catch and misses. Down to 3 versus 4. Blackhawks in the lead. Goes for the deflection, but it hits him in the arm. 2 versus 4. 1 versus 4. Almost steps over the line. 1 left. Oh, he pushed the advantage hard. Jumped right over the line. Blackhawks take match 1 of round 14. All right, we've swapped sides. Tokos is now on the left. Blackhawks on the right. Blackhawks with the lead. Tokos really needs to fight hard if they want to make a comeback. Our mini ref helped set up the balls. Now he's back off the sidelines. Teams touching the opposing walls. Waiting for the ref's whistle. A hush falls over the crowd in anticipation. And they're off. Blackhawks waiting. Letting Tokos expend all their energy. Is it a gambit that will pay off? Tokos opens fire. Fails to connect, but recovers most of the dodgeballs with a seriously powerful blast of dodgeball energy. Goes for the catch and catches it. Brings the player back in, knocks another player out. Tokos is down 1. Blackhawks at full strength. Tokos down 2. Blackhawks at full strength. Tokos putting some fire in their attacks. Zinging them across, hard enough that you might not want to catch it. Solid catch from the team on the right, knocks player out on the left. Blackhawks still at full strength. Tokos down to 7. Tokos numbers dwindling quickly as Blackhawks press their advantage. Attack after attack, hardly giving Tokos a chance to catch their breath. Attack after attack, slinging in from side to side. Our player on the left deftly dodging, diving underneath, ducking, rolling. Blackhawks unable to attack him out, and then he gets hit in the leg. That was an impressive feat of skill. Burned bright and then exploded like a supernova. 3 versus 10, or 3 versus 9, 3 versus 8. Nice catch by the team on the right. He's out on the left. 2 versus everybody. 1. Tokos down to 1. Blackhawks looking set to cinch their victory. Goes for the money ball. It's up. Almost makes it. Dodges, ducks, dives. Dances. Goes for the money ball. It's up and misses. Dances around, almost gets hit in the back. Nice deflection. Managing to hold his own. Gets distracted by several fake outs. Oh, goes for the catch and misses. Blackhawks win round 14. Welcome back, sports fans, to the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're coming in at round 15, Sitting Ducks on the right versus Keller Williams on the left. Both of these teams have fought hard to get to where they are tonight, but only one can come out on top. And off we go. They're rushing for the line. It's nice when you get this late into the tournament to still see smiles on the faces of our athletes, because no matter how hard they work, they're out here to have a good time, and most of them are doing just that. And when they're having fun, we're having fun. And if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. A young spectator in the stands narrowly avoiding a grisly fate as a dodgeball whips right past his head and bounces back into the audience, back onto the court. Sitting Ducks on the right, down to 8. Keller Williams on the left, holding, well, now down to 8 as well. These dodgeballs are flying fast and furious. Nice catch by our team on the left. Knocks a player out on the right. Goes for the catch and misses. Now down to 5 on the right. And 8 on the left. The team on the left goes to throw a player out and not realizing that the player is already out. Goes for the catch on the right, misses it. Now down to 3. That fast. All of our players are playing hard and fast tonight. Some of these people have come out here with something to prove, and they're not leaving anything behind. 4 versus 7. 3 versus 7. Our players on the right forming a defensive line, gathering up the ammunition as our players on the left pick them off one by one. Knocking our player out on the left. We're now down 5 versus 3. And our team on the right evening up the odds as quickly as they can. Our players waiting for their chance to come back in, narrowly avoiding catastrophe as a dodgeball whisks its way right between their heads to bounce off the wall behind them. Players on the right creating space, making it that much harder for our players on the left to make a connection with the dodgeball. All our players on the left concentrate their effort and knock a player out. Now down to 2 on the right versus 5 on the left. Still holding strong at 5 on the left. And now down to 1 on the right. Holding his own for now. Money ball's in effect. He's got to use his strategy. Nice deflection. Ball goes wild up in the air. Another nice deflection. Tags the player out, evening up the odds a little bit. 1 versus 4. Money ball way up in the air. Way overhead. Oh, goes for the catch and misses. Sitting Ducks down 1. Keller Williams takes the round, or takes the match for the first part of round 15. All right, our teams are lined up on the wall. Our refs are getting the balls put back on the line. Everybody's taking this opportunity to stretch or catch their breath. Think about a loved one maybe they left back home. And try to remember better times before these dark days in the dodgeball wars. When we see man versus woman, brother versus brother across the line. But you either go big or you go home. Dodgeball's flying in from the left. Keller Williams handily defeating Sitting Ducks in our first round. Sitting Ducks, though, putting up a good fight this time around. Gathering up all the dodgeball ammunition. Now, can they concentrate their fire? And there we go. When you work together, anything's possible. Players dropping like flies on both sides of the court. Down to 7 on the left and 8 on the right. Nice deflection by our team member number 58. Dodgeball's flying haphazardly through the air, along the ground. Player in the New York jacket gets knocked out of the game. Players on the left return to fire. Our player on the right gets knocked out. We're now down to just 4. 4 left for Keller Williams versus 6 for Sitting Ducks. Deflects it all the way back up into the rafters. All of our players giving it their all at this late stage in the game. Sitting Ducks know if they don't make a comeback now, they might not ever get the chance again. Keller Williams feeling confident, pushing right up to the line and then dropping back to create space. Our player gets tacked out 3 times. Now down to 3 versus 6. 3 versus 4. Now, wait a second. Our team on the left has 11 players on the field. Did anybody notice that? Down to just 1 on the right versus 4 on the left. Going for the money ball. Oh, they're both out. Outstanding, just leaves 2 left for the Sitting Ducks. We got 1 left on the right. Oh, he goes for the money ball and misses. All right, that means the win for that match of the round goes to Sitting Ducks, giving each team 1 win. And we're going to go into round 3. All right, our teams are off. Several of them make it over to the line. Definitely deflects several dodgeballs and then tries to dive out of the way of one and gets hit in the back. A risky gambit that didn't pay off. Catches the ball as it bounces off of him and knocks a player out. Player number 6 on the left with a strong attack. Getting over to the right, making space, dancing, dipping, diving, ducking, dodging, all over the place. This one's for all the beans. Just don't spill them. 7 players left on the right, 8 players on the left. Makes a catch, brings one back in, so they're back up to 9. Versus 6 for our team on the right. Each team with 1 win in the round. Whoever takes this one wins the match. Goes for the catch and misses. This is probably our fastest paced head-to-head we've seen yet. Nobody's waiting. Everybody's moving. Everybody's grabbing those dodgeballs and throwing them across as fast as they can. Both teams eager to come out on top. Our Sitting Duck on the right certainly proved his name to be true just now. Has to take a step off the court for a minute and compose himself. The rest of our players fighting back even harder now to salvage what's left of his damaged honor. 7 on the left, 6 on the right, 5 on the right. Most of the dodgeballs on the left side of the court right now, making their way back to the right. Doesn't even need to deflect it because it was a wild ball. Our team on the right catching their breath, sizing up their opponents, getting ready to let loose. Off they go. Our player on the left pointing out that she didn't even have to move to dodge all those 4 incoming dodgeballs. Sometimes dodging involves not dodging. All part of the strategy, all part of the skill, all part of the ballet that is dodgeball. Both teams evenly matched with 5 players on the court. Dodgeball's coming in wild from the right. Players now going for quantity over quality. The player on the left manages to stop herself just short of tripping over the line. Catches it on the rebound. Our player on the left is out. Player on the right brings one back in. Down to 4 on the left and 6 on the right. Players starting to taunt each other. Everybody's still having a good time. Lots of smiles out there. Goes for the catch and misses. A valiant attempt. Down to 3. Tag a player out on the right. We're now 3 versus 5. It's still anybody's game. Goes for the catch and misses. That ball brushed her fingertips, which means she's out. 2 left versus 6 on the right. 5 on the right. Stockpiling ammunition over here on the left to increase their chances of returning a hit. Definitely dances out of the way. Dodging attack after attack. Returns fire. The players on the left holding strong with just 2 players left. That's right. Our players on the left holding strong with just 2 players left on the left. Catching their breath. Only 1 dodgeball in the hands of the enemy. Nice deflection. Turns fire, goes for the catch, misses. Knocks player out. We're down to 3 versus 1. Oh, and that's it. Sitting Ducks takes the win right out of the hands of Keller Williams to win round 15. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're coming into round 16. The MACU Rate Slashers on the left versus Swoldiers on the right. You may recognize both teams from earlier in the night. Swoldiers have won both of their previous bouts here in the East Gym. The Rate Slashers fell under the heavy dodgeball barrage of say when. Now's their chance to make a comeback. Refs are done conferring on the court. Our teams are ready to go. Our agile athletes on the left stretching out. Refs gathering his whistle. Teams are ready, and off we go. Swoldiers making it to the line, grabbing all the dodgeballs. Our lone brave but foolish Rate Slasher on the left distracts the enemy team and then pays the ultimate sacrifice. Swoldiers on the right with all the ammunition and some serious pep in their step, blasting those dodgeballs right across the court, knocking out two of the Rate Slashers players. It's 8 versus 10. With a wind-up. Oh, it's a fake out. Back on over, we got another knockout. The Rate Slashers down 2, but unperturbed. Their eyes set on victory. A resounding crash as the dodgeball hits the railing. Some of these dodgeballs have to be topping speeds you cannot even believe, easily going 10 or 15 miles an hour. The speed at which these things fly across the court beggars belief. Number 11 takes a strong hit to the back, and he's out. The Rate Slashers down to just 6 players on the court. Swoldiers standing strong at 9. Easily deflecting the incoming attacks. Returning fire and knocking out another player. 5 versus 9. Now down to 4 versus 9. Now down to 1. Nice deflection. Goes for it, and he is tagged in the stomach, and he's out. A valiant defense. Swoldiers take round 1 of match 16. All right, we're back. Round 2 of match 16. MCU Rate Slashers on the right and Swoldiers on the left. Swoldiers cinching out the win for the first part of the game. Rate Slashers need to fight hard to make a comeback now. Both teams are primed and ready. Off we go, racing for the line. Swoldiers actually take advantage of it and make it to the line. Not a single Rate Slasher grabs the ball. Players getting knocked out. Perhaps with a bit of strong language. That fast, the Rate Slashers are down to 7 versus the Swoldiers. Full ranks at 10. Hides behind the cone to recover the dodgeball. The Rate Slashers unconcerned. Ready to take it all the way to the end. Now down to just 2 players left. Is it going to be over this fast? Or will they make a comeback of a lifetime? Oh, 3. Now down to 2. The Rate Slashers players getting desperate, but holding on, fighting back as best they can. Ball gets caught. Now we're down to 1. 1 left. And he's out. That gives the win in round 16 to the Swoldiers, handily destroying the Rate Slashers. Welcome back, sports fans, to the Spanish Fork Recreation 2019 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Coming right into round 17. The MACU Debt Crushers versus Dodge Wrench. And they're off like a shot. Or maybe not. Dodge Wrench grabs most of the dodgeballs, kicks one over just for good measure, I guess. Pretty sure it doesn't count for anything if you kick the ball, being that it's dodgeball and not kickball. Got a couple players out on the right. The Debt Crushers really need to fight hard if they want to make it anywhere in the competition tonight. We saw them earlier where they lost to Epstein, didn't kill himself. Dodge Wrench, we saw earlier where they also lost to Epstein, didn't kill himself. Both teams back right now with something to prove. Despite the late hour, both of our teams are still looking fresh and energetic. Bushy-eyed and bushy-tailed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Because you can't just get away, you just can't get away from the love of the game. They're not here for accolades or sports sponsorship deals. They're not here for the roar of the crowd. They're here to prove something to themselves and to the ones they love, that they can compete with the top athletes in the sport, that they can hang tough, that they can make it to the end, that they can give it all they got when the chips are down and the tension's high, that they can come away with a smile on their face knowing, I threw that ball with everything I had. And no one can take that away from them. Nice catch by the team on the left, knocking a player out on the right. And suddenly we're down to 3 versus 10. Just that fast. Now 3 versus 9. We've seen it go from 1 versus 10, and the team turned it around completely the other way. Can it happen tonight? Do dreams come true? Whew. That ball almost gave me a haircut. I'm overdue. Eight versus 2. These two putting up a heck of a fight. Oh, dropping it down, knocks him out. He's now down to 1. Dodge, 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 step dive, dodge. 1 versus many. Oh, it hit him. Deflected and bounced it up in his back. All right, Dodge a Wrench takes the first half of the round. The Debt Crushers put up a heck of a fight, stiff competition, especially there at the end, but it wasn't quite enough. All right, we're back for part 2 of round 17. The Debt Crushers on the left and Dodge a Wrench on the right. Dodge a Wrench winning the first match of the round. Both teams are set and ready to go. Hands on the wall, and they're off. Who's going to get more dodgeballs? Team on the left tags player out, and similarly gets tagged out himself. Goes off the court the wrong direction. Both teams down to 9 players on the court. Both teams hugging the back wall whenever they don't have ammunition in their hands. Strategy designed to keep more space between them and the opponent team. The greater the distance, the harder it is to be hit, as these dodgeballs are imprecise yet deadly tools of destruction. And that's part of the challenge, is that they're imperfectly round, lightweight, and soft. When you zip it through the air, the currents carry it wherever they want. So that's part of the challenge that these top-tier athletes have learned to master through the years and years of rigorous training. Most of the ammunition over here on the right as they stockpile and get ready to unleash an attack back the other direction. Debt Crushers aware of the precarious situation that they're in. Grabs the dodgeball, returns fire, handily deflected, and then re-deflected and not caught, so he's out. Returning fire, ineffectively. Our players on the left sizing up their opponents and zinging him across. He gets hit right in the arm, and he's out as he was about to make his own attack. Players on the left pressing their advantage and moving up to the line to close the gap. All 5 dodgeballs fail to connect. Return fire knocks one player out. Now down to 6 versus 4. Dodge a wrench on the right. Starting to feel the pressure as the debt crushers turn up the heat. Now we're evenly matched again, 4 versus 4. Nice catch, double catch, knocking 2 players out on the right, bringing 2 of his players back in. Now 6 versus 2, that fast. Anything can still happen. Deflected, dodged. Double deflected. Our 2 players on the right, on the left versus 6 on the right. Nice deflection. And that's the round. Dodge a wrench wins over the debt crushers for round 17. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We're coming into our first round of bracket play. We've got the Swoldiers versus Tokos. Swoldiers on the right, Tokos on the left. Teams are making their way to the court, getting ready. This is when it starts to get serious. All right, players are ready, and off they go, racing for the line. Swoldiers get all of the dodgeballs. Can they tag out the Tokos? Tokos easily dodging out of the way. Swoldiers unperturbed as they continue to rain a hailfire of dodgeballs down upon their opponents. A lone dodgeball rolling across the court. It's picked up by the team on the right. They take a moment to size each other up. Player deftly dances out of the way on the right. Players returning fire from the left. Both miss right over his shoulder. Luck is number 11 tonight. Nice deflection from the team on the right. Both teams once again sizing each other up, firing dodgeball after dodgeball. So our team on the left goes for the catch, and they catch it. Nice save by the team on the left. Knocks the player out on the right that threw the dodgeball. Another catch for our team on the left, knocking another player out on the right. Swoldiers now down to 7. Tokos at full strength. Six versus 10. Our player on the left gets knocked out. Goes for the deflection, but it hits his hand, which counts as an out. Dodgeball to the head. Headshots don't count, so he's still in. Ref calls him in still. Clarification to the rule. Even though he was ducking, it still hit him in the face, so it didn't count. Although his face is nice and red now. A lovely contrast against the yellow of the dodgeballs and the soft wood of the floor. 5 players left on the left, 8 on the right. Swoldiers making a strong comeback. Tokos looking for any chance they can to whittle down their enemy numbers so they can stay in the fight. Still holding strong at 5. Swoldiers easily deflecting the incoming attack. Tokos making space, ready to jump out of the way. Swoldiers failing to connect with any of their barrage of dodgeball bullets. Number 11 takes a ball to the knee and the back and is out. Back down to 7 versus 4. Our players on the left, ready for a concentrated assault, but Leroy Jenkins throws his ball too soon. And the rest back off, awaiting the counter assault. Nice deflection by the team on the right, bounces the ball right back over. Tokos lining up their shot, trying to distract their opponents by throwing at people they're not looking at. A risky gambit because you can't quite see where you're going to hit. Swoldiers presses the advantage and returns fire. Goes for the catch and misses. Knocking 2 people out. They both missed the catch. Now we're down to 2 versus 7. Nice deflection by the team on the left. 2 deflections in a row. And another. Returning fire. Oh, and he falls over the line. We're now down to 1. Money ball's in effect. Swoldiers pushing the attack. Our lone Tokos recovering as many dodgeballs as he can. Money ball's in the air. Misses and it's caught. He's out. Swoldiers take round 1. All right, we're back for round 2 of bracket play. Swoldiers versus Tokos. Swoldiers cinching the first round. Tokos put up a valiant fight, but wasn't quite able to recover it. Swoldiers made it to the line first here and have knocked out 1 player of the opposing team. Tokos now taking the opportunity to return fire, advancing to the line with most of the dodgeballs on their side. Now backing off the line as Swoldiers press their advantage and advance to the line of scrimmage. With a fake out throw and 1 real throw. Swoldiers have 2 balls, leaving 6 in the hands of the Tokos. Now 7. Knocking out a Swoldier on the left. Bouncing the ball hard enough that it comes back across. Another player knocked out on the left. Excellent strategy implemented by Tokos on the right, whittling down their opponent a little at a time. Player denies that he was called out. The ref still calls him out. Swoldiers down to 8. Nine versus 8. Still anybody's game. Goes for the catch and misses. 8 versus 8. 8 versus 7. Still pretty evenly matched. Tokos fighting harder than they ever have to stay in the match. If they lose here, they're out of bracket play, and the Swoldiers go on to round 2. Nice catch on the ground by our player in the SpongeBob shirt. Swoldiers thought they had him, but they didn't. He had one last trick up his sleeve, catching it with his face. A half-hearted throw from the team on the right. Almost seemed like it was an intentional distraction. A distraction from what? Tokos standing strong with 8 players on the court. Swoldiers down to just 4. Nice deflection by SpongeBob. Returns the shot and misses. Swoldiers down to 4. Tokos at 6. Turn and fire, they miss. Tokos recovers the ball on the right. Swoldiers on the left doing their best to knock out their opponents. Catches it, but it bounced off the ground, so it doesn't count. It's a dead ball. It's in the air, and it doesn't count. Lofted us off his hand, knocking another player out. Swoldiers down to 4. Now down to 3. Now down to 2. Tokos really pressing their advantage now, fighting harder than ever to come back from the abyss. If Tokos wins here, we'll go into match 3 of the round. Winner take all. Nice deflection by the team on the right. Team on the left, just 2 of them sharing the small amount of ammunition that they have to maximize their firepower and strengthen their position against the enemy. Nice catch by the Swoldiers on the left. Drops the ball he's holding and catches another one as it comes in. Teammate that just came in was hit in the foot, but he had 5 seconds to get on the court, so it didn't count. Refs call him safe. Tokos now down 1 more. 5 versus 3. It's still anybody's game. That quickly it can turn around. We were at 2 versus 6, and now we're at 3 versus 5. Swoldiers now have 4 of the dodgeballs. 4 balls on each side of the court. Still anybody's game. Five versus 4. Crowd not impressed by the fact that everybody's just looking at each other. Now the dodgeballs start flying again. Both teams trying frantically to hit the other team. Neither team able to connect. Goes for his custom or his trademark catch a ball with a face move, and this time just gets hit in the face. Down to 3 versus 3. Anybody's game. Both teams trying to catch their breath, size up their opponents, plan their next move. Tokos unable to connect. Swoldiers gathering up all the loose dodgeballs that they can. Tokos on the right, barely dancing around. Almost catches it, but gets knocked down. 2 versus 3. Tokos still barely in the lead. Swoldiers could still turn it around. It's still anybody's game. 3 dodgeballs, all unable to connect. Our player deftly dancing out of the way of dire incoming dodgeball death. Swoldiers collecting as much ammunition as they can for their counterattack. Knocks one out. We've got 2 versus 2. Still 2 versus 2. Dodgeballs flying in all over the place. Returning fire, unable to connect. Makes the catch, brings it back in. Swoldiers now up 3 versus Tokos 1. And he's out. Swoldiers take the win. Swoldiers will go on to the next round in the bracket. Tokos are out of the competition after a hard-fought battle. Well done, Tokos. Well done, Swoldiers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We have a special match going on right now. We have a 3-way tie, so this is a one-off game to break that 3-way tie. Whoever wins this 3-way tie will go on in the bracket to fight the Swoldiers. We have on the right the Squirtle Squad, and then returning on the left, Dodge a Wrench. Could I sound more like a robot when I said that? Maybe. Refs are getting into position. Our teams are talking through their strategies. The spectator stands are filling back in with fans hungry for action. The stage is set for a beautiful ballet of dodgeball death. Dodge wrench on the left, Squirtle Squad on the right, and they're off. Both of these teams ready to fight. Seen several teams employ that kick the ball technique. I don't think it's valid though if it connects. More dodgeballs getting kicked. We got an out on the right. Squirtle Squad now down 2. Dodge a wrench. Handily dodging dodgeballs, but also kicking them. Squirtle Squad gathering up all the ammunition, walking up to the line, lining up like a firing squad. Narrowly missing all of their intended targets. Excellent technique, though. You throw all those balls at once down at one target, it makes it that much harder for them to dodge out of the way. A lot easier to dodge one ball than it is to dodge 6. Chicken Wing goes with the fake out. Squirtle Squad firing, firing, firing. Connects with one, knocks out another one. Both teams still fairly evenly matched. Squirtle Squad employing the time-tested and true firing squad technique. To mixed results. Now a lull in the action as the teams stare menacingly at each other. Double hit. He was out on the first one. The second one was just for good measure. Nice deflection by the crowd as the dodgeball careens wildly out into the spectators. A lot of talking, a lot of coordination going on in the Squirtle Squad. Is it all for naught? Is it all spectacle? No, they seem to be putting up instead of shutting up. Dodge a wrench, dropping like flies. Now down to just 3 players versus Squirtle Squad 7. Now down to 2. 2 versus 7. Nice deflection by Dodge a wrench. And they missed. Return fire and failed to connect. Squirtle Squad employing a systematic method of destruction, mowing down their opponents one at a time, grinding them to dust. Slick holding on to his dodgeball for all that it's worth, using it to block incoming attacks and waiting for the reset when Dodge Wrench returns fire. Dodge Wrench still holding strong at just 2. Gathering together, maybe they're going to go for the concentrated attack, or are they going to split up and try their luck? Slow in the action, the audience waits with bated breath. Now comes the cat calling. You can practically feel the tension crackling through the air like lightning as the crowd builds in anticipation, waiting for someone to make the first move. Who's it going to be? Will this standoff ever end? Do I have time to go get a cup of coffee? The refs got bored. 5 seconds to throw a ball. All right, we broke the stalemate. Just to start another one. Just one left on the left, and he's out. That was a hard-fought game. Squirtle Squad takes the first round of our three-way tiebreaker. Oh. And now they will fight the other team of the three-way tie. All right, we're back with round 2 of the three-way tiebreaker. Squirtle Squad edged out the victory, and now they're going to face off against Epstein Didn't Kill Himself. The winner of this round will go on to compete in the bracket against Swoldiers as we break this three-way tie. Epstein Didn't Kill Himself has the advantage here in that they got to rest through the last game, whereas Squirtle Squad is coming right off the back of the previous battle. Are they going to be tired or are they going to be pumped? Tune in to find out. The hush falls over the crowd as our athletes drop into position, ready to race for the line. Referee steps out to the line, whistle in hand, checks in with both teams, gives the thumbs up, we're ready to go. Okay, here we go. They're off. Epstein Didn't Kill Himself racing out toward the line, grabbing all of the dodgeballs. Adopting Squirtle Squad's firing squad technique, knocking him out on the left. Squirtle is down 2. With 8 still on the floor, Epstein Didn't Kill Himself wasn't just sitting by idly. They watched the technique that this other team employed, and now are they turning it around on them? Time will tell. PDKH with 1 player down. Our team on the right now has almost all of the dodgeballs in hand. Team on the left can only await their fate. A few of the dodgeballs have now made their way back over to our opposing team as they grab a few in hand, ready to deliver a barrage of their own. Chicken wings out, it gets hit in the foot. Slick has the ball in hand. A backhanded attack. Almost dodges around 4 dodgeballs on the left, but he's out. And then Pizza Hut's out too. Down 3 on the right, down 3 on the left. It's seemingly even matched. Slick catches the ball and brings the teammate back in. Dropping another teammate out on the opposing team. Whichever team conquers here will go on to play in the bracket against the Swoldiers. So it's guts or glory time. Can't leave anything on the line. Knocking him out. We've got 4 left on the left. 7 in the fight on the right. An errant ball up into the crowd. The spectator catches it, thinks about taking it home as a souvenir, does the right thing, and sends it back into the court. Four versus 7 still. And now down. Oh, he's still in. Must have missed him. Our plucky 4 adventurers on the left, holding strong against the numerically superior enemy of the Squirtle Squad on the right. Squirtle Squad now has all of the dodgeballs in hand, but fails to maximize their advantage. He's way over the line. Player not paying attention, steps about 2 feet over the line, gets called out by the refs. Can't step over the line, but you can reach over it to grab a dodgeball, as long as your foot doesn't go past. Squirtle Squad member Slick demonstrates exactly what we were talking about. Reaches over, grabs an errant dodgeball. Squirtle Squad resets their firing squad technique. Fails to connect. You could say it's a hit or miss technique. Squirrel Squad gets tagged down 1 member. Now we're down to 3 versus 4. 5, 3 versus 5. Squirrel Squad still up. Epstein not going down without a fight. And we have an even exchange. Now we're down to just 1. Epstein's down to 1. He's rolling on the ground. Crocodile rolls to avoid the incoming barrage of dodgeball bullets. Catching his breath. Money ball's in effect. Can he hold out? Can he bring his team back in? Money ball's in the air. Oh, way off the left end. He's out. Squirtle Squad takes the win, and they will go on to fight the Swoldiers in bracket play. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. We are into our semifinals. Swoldiers versus Squirtle Squad. Swoldiers charging in from the left. Squirtle Squad on the right, catching their breath after playing 2 back-to-back games to break a 3-way tie, just to get to the point of being able to fight against the Swoldiers here. They have fought hard to be here. Let's see if they can keep up the energy. Nice catch by Squirtle Squad on the right. Swoldiers already down 1. Now down 2. Squirtle Squad not showing any signs of fatigue. Now that they've got the balls in their hands, they're charging right out and coming up fast. Swoldiers hotly contested. Do we need to go to the instant replay? Swoldiers apparently persuaded the ref to vote in their direction, so they're all still in. Catches it on the left and tags out the Squirtle Squad member on the right. Squirtle Squad not happy with the decision, but soldiering on anyway. Swoldiers talking amongst themselves, trying to decide on a strategy. Squirtle down 4. Soldiers advancing onto the line. Squirtle on the right manages to dodge out of the way. Chicken Wing tries to deflect the ball, but gets tagged out. Slick goes for the catch and misses. Squirtle down to 4. Soldiers at full strength. Oh, goes for the catch, almost gets it, misses, gets tagged out on the left. Squirtle down to 3. but has most of the ammunition in hand. Squirtle still in good spirits, mocking their opponents on the Swoldiers team. Swoldiers less than amused, waiting for their chance to fire back. Nice deflection on the left. 11's out, gets tagged in the foot. Seven versus 3. Three versus 7. Squirtle holding their own, deftly dodging and diving underneath those incoming dodgeballs. Tension is high. Squirtle sharing their ammunition around. Nice deflection. Nice deflection, Squirtle. Well, this orange-shirted Squirtle, quite agile. Jumping and jiving all over the dodgeball court. Most of the dodgeballs back into the hands of the Squirtle squad. Are they going to employ their firing squad technique? Swoldiers jumping right over the incoming volley of dodgeballs. Squirtle squad resetting. Gathering together. Volley after volley, still failing to connect with their opponents on the opposite side of the court. A story that's true for both teams. Nice deflection by the Swoldiers. Swoldiers try to turn around and use the Squirtle squad's own techniques against them. 2 versus 8. Squirtle still holding strong at 2. If we run out of time, I believe the team with more members on the court will win. Squirtle squad pressing their advantage, moving up the lawn. Failed to connect in any meaningful way. Swoldiers teaming up, bunching up together to concentrate their firepower against the Squirtle squad on the opposite side of the court. Now spreading back out, looks like they've come up with a different technique. Squirtle deftly dancing around the incoming Fosade. Tag out the Swoldier on the left. Six versus 2. Nice deflection, Squirtle squad. Swoldiers firing hard and fast, trying to whittle them down to 1. Squirtle squad bloodied but unbowed. Nice dodge, double dodge, dodge, dodge. Hits him in the hand and he's out. We're down to 1. Money ball's in effect. Squirtle squad's down to 1 versus 5. Tension's high. Clarification on the money ball rule this year. If you shoot the money ball and you get tagged out while it's still in the air, If the money ball lands, even if you've been hit, you're out, but your team gets to come back in. Nice deflection, and they caught it. Ref says it hit the roof, so it didn't count. So they're still in. Squirtle coming in gets a 5-second safety shield. So even if he gets tagged while he's walking on, he's not out again until 5 seconds have passed. At this late stage in the bracket, everybody's pushing the rules to the max. Our keen-eyed refs have to pay close attention to everything. And that's it, Squirtle's out. Hard-fought round. They'll swap sides and go again for best of 2 out of 3. We're back into it, round 2 of our second bracket game. Swoldiers versus Squirtle Squad. Swoldiers just managing to capture the win in the first part of the round. Squirtle Squad over here on the left side, fighting tenaciously, but they've got to fight even harder than they've ever fought before to squeak out the win now. Squirtle resorting back to their firing squad technique, bunching up and ganging up on one or two targets at a time. Perhaps not. No connection. Soldiers recover most of the dodgeballs. Gathered up and planning. Attack, attack, miss, miss. Our Squirtle here on the left gets hit in the ankle and he's out. Returns fire. Tries to deflect but misses, and he's out. Squirtle now down to 6 versus the Soldiers at full strength. Catch it! Oh, and he gets hit in the head. He's still in though. Headshots don't count. Down to 5. Wait a second. Yep, down to 5. 5 versus 9. 5 versus 8. Four versus 8. Are these overwhelming odds? We've seen Squirtle come back from greater odds than this. Can they do it? They have played 2 other hard-fought games right in a row before this, whereas the Soldiers were out in Key Largo drinking mimosas and relaxing before they came to this game. Still sitting at 4 versus 8. Our orange shirt Squirtle proving once again how deft and agile he is. Dodging around. 11 went out of bounds. Another Soldier gets tagged out. We get a catch on the left. Squirtle Squad brings the team member back in, and they're back up to 8. And Soldiers are now down to, back up to 4. Oh no, 5. It's hard to count. I went to public school. 5 on the left, 5 on the right. We're evenly matched. Slick kindly encouraging his teammates to throw them. Nice catch by the Squirtles. Cut it so hard it knocked his shoe off. Swoldier is out on the right. They're down to 4. Goes for the catch and misses. Lightning doesn't strike twice. Still, we're at 5 versus 4. Squirtles with the advantage. Nice deflection. Nice catch by Squirtle on the left. Swoldiers down to 3. Can Squirtle eke out the win here? If they do, we'll go to round 3. Slick tags him out. It's down to 2 versus 6. 2 versus 6. Squirtle slowly mowing down their opponents. Two Squirtles out. Swoldiers evening up the odds. Suddenly, just as quick as it happened before, we're now down to 2 versus 3. That fast. Swoldiers putting up a heck of a defense. Almost connecting with our 2 of our last remaining players on the right. Squirtle squad on the left, backing up, creating space to make themselves harder to hit. Swoldiers on the right, not quite as loud about their planning, but still communicating with each other and talking through their attacks. Backing up, forcing the Squirtle squad to make the first move. Now they move out to the line, and they're going to attack. Ready? They fire, hitting our Squirtle. Refs are making a tough call. Looks like he got hit in the head and in the foot. All right, refs calling him in. Ref calls him in. Still 3 versus 2. Only seems fair. The Swoldiers got a tough call last time, and Squirtle gets it this time. Swoldiers pressing the advantage and return to fire as hard as they can. Squirtle's dancing out of the way. Fiercely firing. Down to 1. 1 versus 2. 1 minute. 1 minute. And he catches it. 2 versus 1 with the upset. Catch it. Oh, he catches it. 2 versus 1 the other direction. But he caught it. Now it's 1 versus 1. Sudden death. Sudden death. Ref makes a call. We're into sudden death. 1 versus 1. The out of bounds line is gone. Each player gets 1 ball. There are no more balls on the court. Just 1 ball each. And they can go anywhere on the court. Head to head. Sudden death. If Squirtle manages to win this, we'll bring both teams back on and go into our tiebreaker. If Swoldiers wins, they will continue on to the finals. There's electric right now. The audience all hunched over, watching as closely as they can to see what's going to happen. All the extra balls are off. No money balls. Just good old-fashioned, ritualistic man-on-man, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, fight to the dodgeball death combat. Who will come out ahead? And there's the whistle. They're off. Oh, Swoldiers takes the win. Squirtle's out. A hard-fought battle. Swoldiers wins in sudden death. Valiant effort on behalf of the Squirtle squad.